pride, passion, and pageantry of college football lives here. This is the Paul Finebaum Show, Hour 4 podcast.
This might be college football heaven.
Are back. Great to have all of you with us. One more hour on this President's Day. I realize some of you are home. We appreciate you tuning us in. Bit of a laid-back day, but one thing doesn't change. We have reached the final hour of the show. Legend is next. Good afternoon.
Hey, Paul, how you doing, brother? You doing okay?
We are doing great. Thank you.
Man, Paul, I said they'd be a new number one come Monday, and I wasn't lying. There's a new number one in the coaches poll
yes,
today.
Sir.
New number one in the coaches poll today. Man, Auburn beat our ass, Paul. As Charles from Reeltown would say, they put a country boy ass whooping on us.
They sure did.
They're clearly the best team in the nation. You know, to me, I mean, I walked away thinking, man, we got a mountain to climb with Auburn. But Paul will tell you what Alabama's problem is, okay?
Well, want to hear this.
Alabama's problem is Mark Sears is playing like straight trash. He's been playing like straight trash for about 3 or 4 weeks now. I don't know what's going on with him, if him getting benched was a problem. But, I mean, the guy is a turnover machine waiting to happen. I mean, when you go play the point in basketball, you're a quarterback. You had to be able to dissect the play and know if you're going to drive, if you're going to dish, if you're going to shoot. I mean, it's a 50-50 option with Mark Sears. Half the time he's successful, and the other half he's either turning it over or trying some crazy-ass shot that gives the other team a fast break headed in the other direction. I noticed Saturday when Alabama made their run in the second half, they had LeBron Fallon at the point and Mark Sears playing the two guard. So I know Nate Oates sees it. I think they ought to put Mark Sears at the two guard and run him off picks and let him shoot, because when he's open, I'd rather him shoot than anybody on the team. But as a point guard, man, he's destroying us. 50% of the time, he's either turning the ball over or running down low into a double and triple team and causing the other team to get a fast break, hit it another direction. Particularly with 2 or 3 minutes left in the game, it's like he got to run up in there every time. Come on, Mark Sears, you need to pick your game up, dude. They keep comparing you to Jay Bronson of the New York Knicks. The difference between you and Jay Bronson is Jay Bronson don't be turning the ball over 50% of the time. Dude, you need if the pass ain't there, don't throw it. If it ain't there, don't throw it. Make sure it's there, dude. Man, come on, man. Come on. You are the leader of this team, and you are playing like straight trash, dude. You are playing like straight trash. I just have to tell the damn truth. You either going to pick your game up, or we're going to have a sad ending to this season, because it's like Quinn Ewers of Texas with the Sharks. There ain't no doubt Nate Oates going to ride with you. But Nate Oates needed to look at the fact he needed to put Holloway or Flyline at the point and let Mark Sears run off picks for shots. That's what he needs to do, because at the point, you're a turnover machine waiting to happen, dude. You are absolutely destroying us. And Grant Nelson, dude, you ought to keep your ass in the locker room. That was the most pathetic game I've seen from you in a long damn time, dude. When your two best players, your two best leaders, game of the century, the whole damn world watching, and y'all don't even show the hell up. I'm pissed off with the whole damn team. I love this team, been following it for 50-something years. We got the national spotlight, the whole damn world watching, and y'all play the sorriest-ass game, Nelson and Sears, that I've seen play all damn year down there. Y'all need to get together and realize there's an opportunity here to do something that ain't never been done at the University of Alabama to win a national championship, but you got to get your head out of your butt and realize if you're going to be the point guard, you got to know where you're going, what you're doing, and stop running with your head like a chicken with your head cut off into double and triple teams, dude. Get your act together, man. Come on. This is our opportunity to do something we ain't never done at the University of Alabama. And congratulations to all, because y'all got a hell of a team, man. I just be straight up. Y'all beat our ass. Like Charles of Realtown would say, you put a country boy ass whooping on us. It wasn't even, the score wasn't even as close as it was. Let me say this about the 9-game schedule. I'm with it, Paul. I'm with it. I tell you right now, I'm tired of all these Ari, whatever their names, all these folks crying. Man, I'm with it. Let's kick the little boys to the curb. Let's make it an AFC, NFC. Let the Big Ten be the NFC. Let the SEC be the AFC. Let's go on and have a semi-pro league and kick all these little small clowns to the curb that ain't going to do nothing but mess it up for the real teams that ought to be in there any year anyway. I'm with it. Kick them to the curve. If you're going to be the big dog, you're going to be the big boy that act like it and make your own damn league and be done with all these little teams that ain't going to do nothing but mess it up every year anyway. Get it done, and that's just the fact of the matter. That's the way I look at it. I don't care who likes it. I don't care if 70% watches it or don't watch it. I know down here in the South we'll be watching it, and that's the way it ought to be. So let it be. 9 games, I'm with it. I'd rather play a SEC team than to play Wolford or Mercer or some garbage like that. That's just the way I feel about it. Now, if I get off here, I want to give John from St. Louis some advice. Dude, I did nearly 20 years in prison, so I want you to listen. You're a little weasel. You're a little liar. You've probably been bullied all your life. You're basically just a little scumbag. But I do enjoy your calls. I have to admit, you're kind of funny. You're a character. I like that about you. You're nearly 80 years old. You made it a long way in life, so I respect that. This is my advice, dude. When you get to prison, find you a corner. Sit in that corner. Talk to no one. Say nothing to no one. If anybody asks you anything, just nod your head yes or no. If somebody offers you something, don't take it. I don't care if it's a Tic Tac, don't take it. Don't try to save nobody. Don't try to deliver nobody. Don't try to help nobody while you in there. There's a bunch of snakes and lions in there, brother, that will eat you alive. Sit in your corner, keep all your weird theories to yourself, and just maybe, dude, just maybe you'll get out of there in one piece. Paul, love you. Nate Oates, Mark Sears, Grant Nelson, get your damn act together. We got a chance to do something they never been done. Get your head out of your butt. Legend has left the building.
What a phone call. Racket. Otis Shea is up next. Hello, Otis Shea. Go right ahead.
Hey, Mr. Bob Finebaum. Thank you for taking my call. Good afternoon.
Thank you.
I love Legend, and Legend, he knows me. I've had him come speak at our recovery meeting, but I don't really know how to say this, Mr. Finebaum. He's being very over to the point of we lost the ball game, Alabama, because we didn't play. We didn't play to win. Auburn, they won. And for him to start calling heads of who needs to go, who needs to do what, I totally disagree. And I'll hang up and I'll listen to your comments.
Yeah, listen, that's what happens when a fan invests himself in a program, which he has, and is bitterly disappointed. And now I agree with what he said about Mark Sears. I mean, I was in shock at the way he played, and now we know why Nate Oates has been trying to bring him back. He's not back yet, but he needs to be back for Alabama to be successful. Thank you for the call. Margaret is calling next. Hello, Margaret.
Hello. Thank you for taking my call, Paul. How you doing?
Margaret, we are doing great. Thank you.
I just want to tell you, I think Legend missed his calling as a Pentecostal preacher in the 60s and 70s. I have lived this life, and I've heard it before. He'd be trying to get us out of the seat. But what I'm really calling about is your wardrobe on Friday. It was fabulous. You look great.
Oh, thank you.
Your Glen Plaid, and I think I know who your source is. It's Nancy Harville, is it? From Mobile on that suit?
I'm trying to remember what I had on Friday.
Well, it was great. I thought it might be a Valentine's outfit for it, but I used to be a wardrobe consultant and gave it.
Now, Margaret, I am fascinated. So tell me what you used to do.
I was a personal shopper and men's personal shopper. They sent me to Chicago from Mobile to, check out clothing and understand how men's clothing was made. It was great. I had a great job, and it was a fun time.
Well, I am curious, as somebody who dresses, obviously, I'm curious what you make out of what's happened to men's clothing, because, it is completely turned upside down right now.
Yeah, it really is. But I really like what's going forward. Like I never liked what Travis Kelce was doing before, but I think he's coming back to something more normal, which is not normal. It's just a midway. You got to be close. Do you remember? I know you know Mark Godfrey.
Oh, of course.
No, not Mark. His brother. Oh my God, I can't say it. Anyhow, I did his clothing at Gaffer's, and
so you're talking about Mark's. Mark had his father and uncle were both.
That's right. That's who I'm talking about.
Yeah, you're talking about Joe and Mike, right?
Yeah, Joe and Mike. That's right, Joe. I did Joe's, and I didn't do Mike's. But anyhow, I remember when I got Joe not to do wear Sansa belts because they were so outdated, and now it's almost come back. He said, "That's
funny.
My whole wardrobe."
I remember. I remember all that stuff. Gaffer's was a big department store, wasn't it?
No, it's huge. Yeah, it was like 112 stores, and that was just. And it was it had 10 or 12 other companies involved with it, so it was big. And I was the first in the whole company, so
that's really interesting. I started when I was in high school and college. I worked at a department store, and I loved it. I considered retail, but I don't think I was good enough for it.
Well, I think you were good enough, but you sure wouldn't have made any money, but you would have enjoyed the hell out of it, so that would be something cool. No, I loved it. It was great. I met so many people, and clothing it's just a fun thing. But I noticed exactly what you were wearing. You look great. She did a great job. If it wasn't Nancy, I'm sure it was. And I haven't even heard it. I just spotted it.
That's funny. No, it's I had help. I can assure you of that.
Pardon?
I said I didn't come up with that on my own.
Listen, I did Stabler, Kenny Stabler.
Did you really?
No, not Kenny. What's his name? I went blank. I'm going blank. Yeah,
Kenny was the quarterback.
Yeah, but what I did for him when he came to Mobile was I did I ordered him a navy blazer, but it came in with gold buttons. Ooh. And we had to have the buttons changed to match his Super Bowl ring. That's true.
Great.
It was so
cool. Fantastic.
He was great. He was great. But I loved your outfit.
Well, thank you very much. Margaret, it was a pleasure to talk to you and get the chance to talk. We will take a short break. We are here on a Monday afternoon, early evening, depending on where you are, and we're coming right back.
You're listening to the Paul Finebaum Show podcast.
We are back, and so is, let me get this right. So is Cat Daddy. Hello, Cat Daddy.
Big Paul looking good, sounding good as always. Look at him. I got to see after the last few days, and I've told you this years ago, that when they started paying players that we're going to become more like professional football. And watching the Big Ten and the SEC do this, it's just professional football. And now I think it's going to hurt college football because we all, the old college rah-rah, and that's just falling out the door. Lawyers are taking over, and I'm just depressed about it.
Well, first of all, you are right. That's exactly where we are, and there is a gradual turnoff of a lot of people like you.
Well, sir, I've followed it all my life in my 70 years on this planet, but I'm just really disappointed in the direction it's going in. Although I'll always pull for my Gamecocks, you know that. But let me ask you one more question, because all these folks coming in the store, Clemson's got this new offensive or defensive coordinator and this other new guy that's supposed to be looking over the players, which sounds like a general manager for an NFL team.
Right.
I mean, it's crazy, Mr. Finebaum. Don't you agree?
Oh, it is crazy, but Cat Daddy, there's not much you can do. It's where we are right now. You can choose as a fan not to pay attention, but if you're in the arena, you have to keep up.
Well, I just hate to lose it. I mean, I've enjoyed it so much all of my life because it was a passion, and I know a lot of
you just have
football.
to accept that the best players on your team are making millions of dollars, and if they want, and if they can get more money to go somewhere else at the end of the season, they will.
Well, I don't blame them for wanting to make money. I don't blame that at all. But it just, oh Lord, I guess I'm getting old. But
no. By the way, it's not about getting old. It's about believing in what you believe. And as a college football fan, when you started watching it, players went to South Carolina or Clemson or wherever they went because they had a connection to the school. They grew up following it, and the players who played there wanted to be there. Now they are there because somebody paid them more money. There is a big difference.
Yeah, it's a crazy world. You got people that are upset because you got 20-year-olds that Elon Musk has hired to run that Doge committee. Yeah, these are the same people that wanted 6-year-old children to decide what sex they are. This country's gone crazy.
Well, we got that cleared up. I was worried about that this morning when I got up. Tyrone is next up in Pittsburgh.
Hey, how's it going, Paul?
Hey, Tyrone. Good afternoon.
You knew you were going to hear back from me.
I knew that.
I was listening to Legend, and Legend makes some good points. Same points I'm making, though. But I don't think it's supposed to be all on Mark Sears. I think the coach should take a lot of the blame. Because I saw enough this year to tell me that the other point guard really should be starting. And Sears should be moved to the 2. And he's right, he should be coming off screen, shoot. Not being the one who penetrate. Because the little freshman, I mean, I watched one of the games this year, and he didn't hardly have any turnovers compared to Sears. But I'm going to tell you something else he's doing, the coach is doing is wrong. You can't, these are college kids. You can't get in their heads like that and saying stuff, going to the media and talking about them like what the coach is doing toward him. He went off on this kid the other day, like he's really, the problem. I mean, talk to him. Don't tell everybody else this. Now you're getting into his head. I seen them do Ben Simmons like this in the pro, and he went straight down. I seen this other little point guard, Marquise. I can't think his last name right now. They did the same thing to him. But you cannot. Everybody's not built the same with that Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant mentality. They're not that strong. And ever since he talked about him and put him on the bench the first time, he hasn't really been himself. And then the other day against Auburn. Again, I seen him playing hard. He's really and truly is. He's too little to just keep going down in there and getting his shots blocked, But that's his game. So, yeah, I mean, Legend made a great point. Put him at the 2 guard, let him come off screens and let him shoot. Let the other guards do the penetrate. And I think, they'll be a lot better. But again, I said it then. When you getting that many points up, yeah, you second in the nation in scoring and all this and that. But the name of the game is you got to score 1 point more than the other team. And that comes down to defense, great defense. And so this is how I'm looking at it. Again, me and you said we'll have this conversation again in April, and we will. I just looked at it again the other day. At the 12:55 mark on the clock, I heard the commentators say the exact same thing. And then, see, although I am an Alabama fan, I'm dissecting it. I've been a coach. I dissect it. And so what I'm seeing is the same things that probably you see. I hate these young guys coming on this program and hollering about this and hollering about this. Man, you got 50 years of watching sports with your eyes. I got 50 years watching sports with my eyes. You know what I'm saying? I don't need all these analytics to tell me. If he was so great at analytics would tell him, shut that lane down. Stop letting these guys come off that screen and go straight down there, straight downhill for layups and stuff. Analytics would tell him, play a zone sometimes. See if they can shoot. You already got the analytics on them. If they're not a great three-point shooting team, why are you playing street ball, straight-up ball? We running up and down the court. You know, it's not going to work. I've seen it. I've seen it long enough. It'll work for us if you just want to get a win, get a lot of wins and this and that, because that's just too much talent. Talent oversees everything. But when you put talent up against talent, great talent, you got, as a coach, you got to be the edge. You got to be the one who puts them over the top. It ain't going to be the player. You got to figure it out. And that's what I've been saying the whole while. But that's it. That's all I got to say.
Thank you very much, Tyrone in Pittsburgh. We're heading to the break right now. We still have 30 minutes remaining on a Monday night. We hope you'll stick around.
You're listening to the Paul Finebaum Show podcast.
Doubleheader, Vandy goes to Rupp, and then Alabama. Licking its wounds does not get much easier at Missouri on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. We are back. Final 30 minutes on this President's Day, and Brandon is up next.
What's going on, Paul? You doing all right today, brother?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to tell you, Paul, Legend was made for the spotlight. I've been with him at ABC 33 in Birmingham doing a segment, and I've watched him. It just comes natural. The way he talks, it's just like second nature to him. Legend, my brother, you have a gift. And, Paul, I agree with some of Tyrone's points, but, Paul, I don't know what the hell O'Deshea is talking about. Legend took the words right out of my mouth, and so did you, Paul. When you are passionate about your sport, basketball, football, whatever it may be, when you take a loss like that in a big game, it hurts. But this ain't the first time Sears has played like this. This has been going on for several weeks now, and you are supposed to be a leader, dude. Absolutely horrible three-point shooting. What did we shoot, Paul? 15 threes before we finally made one.
Right.
Sears driving in the paint, just throwing up absolutely ridiculous shots that he shouldn't be chancing with the game on the line. Grant Nelson, also horrible game, dude. And like Legend said, a very rare occurrence, and you play like that, man. Absolutely no excuse, Paul. There's no excuse. But that's all I got today, Paul. I thank you for taking my call always, brother, and roll tide.
Well, thank you very much. Squirrel is up next.
Yeah, that was a good call by Legend, and I was steadily writing down his prison advice. And I think we've had that conversation before. I've never personally spent the night behind bars, but if it ever does happen, I want to be prepared for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I'm concerned John is going to walk into prison and trying to tell the warden how it's supposed to be operated.
Isn't Colorado a sanctuary state, Paul?
I believe it is, yes.
Yeah, I mean, don't they pretty much allow anything? I mean, they let armed gang members run around. What did this freak from St. Louis do at 80 years old to actually get arrested?
He disrupted a moving train.
That can't be that big a deal. I mean, unless you lay in front of the tracks.
No, I think he was harassing the conductor.
Okay. Doesn't the conductor drive the train?
Yes.
How is he even in the vicinity of the conductor?
I don't know all the details, but I will be in Durango on the 27th of February. We will have live coverage outside the courtroom.
I don't know. I just got a lot of questions. You never did, going back to the day, you never had any brushes with the paddy wagon on Cumberland Avenue?
Amazingly, no. I mean, everybody has a minor brush with the law, but I never had one in Knoxville, no.
I personally, back in the day, drinking age was 18, if you remember back in our day. And so when you're in high school, you could see if you had a wisp of a mustache, you could slip over there. And you remember Cheeks, Last Lap, some of those places?
I do.
I saw many of my buddies get arrested and they have to spend the night at the Knoxville jail. The Knoxville PD used to be notorious, if you remember. Now, how I never got arrested.
But do you know the advantage I had in college that kept me out of trouble?
What's
I
that?
did not
No
own
money?
a car. I had no car in college.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
good thing I didn't.
A lot of we Oak Ridge was only 15 minutes away from Knoxville. We had a way to get over there, but like I said, it was how I avoided the paddy wagon. I still laugh about it to this day. People still doubt it, but I just like to find out more about what that freak did out in Colorado. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you very much. Yeah, as best we know, and again, we're not there, but he was on a train. He was charged with disrupting the ability to operate a train, something like that. And by the way, I'm doing that from memory. The one thing I do know is that John originally told us he had a court date on this Saturday, and now he's changed it. So his credibility, not exactly up there. Hello, John.
Hey, Paul, I can't talk about my court date, but I can talk about something I brought up earlier today. And I have not heard any of your callers chime in on this, and I'm very disappointed because SEC Nation, we need to stand up for America. And we have
something going on in America that we need to stand up for?
Well, we have an insurgency coming down from Canada.
We do?
That's going to culminate on Thursday night in Beantown. And I want to hear the callers call in and stick up
John,
for our country here. Because we're not going to put up with stuff, Paul. This
John,
is ridiculous.
Listen, I would not be making what you don't need.
They desecrate the national anthem and boo us.
Well, they did. That is a fact, and you know why. You know what their premise was.
We're not going to put up with here in this country anymore, Paul. Over and out.
Okay. But what John is talking about, the USA played Canada on Saturday night in hockey, and there were several Canadians, more than several, who were booing the national anthem. I wasn't there. The announcers gave the reason as, not the announcers, but the media gave the reason as the attempt to bring Canada in as the 51st state. That was the genesis of it. Obviously, John is very unhappy. I would suggest to John that once he finishes serving his sentence in Durango, maybe he can go up and lead a group of Americans and declare war on Canada. AJ is up next.
Young man, you just need to stay your ass up in Colorado when you go to court, because if I was driving that train, I would have just ran your ass right on over, young man, without the cup of coffee. But Paul, I could not believe I heard it out of Legend's mouth a while ago, Paul. I mean, I heard what I heard, Paul. I'm gonna put this on the archives right here, this show right here, because he admitted that we just came over there and put a belt to the ass. I mean, that's exactly what I told y'all Friday was going to happen, that we was not going to be changing the number one position at this, on Tuesday. So that was a fact. And I appreciate him just being a grown man and admitting that we put a belt to the ass. And then you got Stacy over there. Stacy, you so damn pathetic, Stacy. You got beat twice this weekend in men's basketball and in your Gamecock women's basketball. So you lost twice, you fans best taught. And then Bash, you don't seem to be running that bald head today. Well, I don't understand what happened, because you took a belt to the ass. Matter of fact, Paul, we didn't come over to Tuscaloosa and put a belt to the ass. We put a Janai broom handle to the ass is what we did. And then we got to give a shout out to Denver Jones over there. Played a hell of a game. He shut Mark Sears down like Sears and Roebuck. I mean, it's just it's a great day to be an Auburn Tiger, Paul. Every day is anyway. But I'm going to tell you, y'all just go ahead and sit back down. Just like I told y'all, sit your asses down, because when you come to our house, we're going to give you another little spanking, and it's probably going to be worse than that one. That was also, Paul, you got to admit, when Nate Oates has to turn around and tell a classless student fan base that act like a bunch of hoodlums running and chanting a bunch of classless profanity at the opposing team, they embarrassed the damn university. That whole fan base, not the fan base, but yeah, they embarrassed the fan base and the university. You student fan basers. I mean, that was pathetic display of sportsmen in class. And another thing on top of that, while y'all was doing all that embarrassing university, Auburn was embarrassing that weak-ass, watered-down team that you think's going to win something of any significance. War-damn Eagle, Brother Paul.
Ken is up next. Hey, Ken.
Hey, Paul.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon. This is first-time caller. I was listening to Legend earlier, and he was bragging about all the 20 years he spent behind bars, and then he started cutting down his coach at Alabama, then his players cutting them down or whatever. I'm a Georgia fan, and I would never go that route. You know, Oates has done a good job. His players are, you know, like we say, they're gonna meet again. There's no way to go about your team. But anyway, it is what it is, and Legend, you just you made a step backwards today as far as some of Alabama players listening to you and the coach. Hey, y'all the number 2 team in the nation. Don't let that.
Hey, listen, I hate to run. Ken, we're closing in on the break, but we appreciate your call. Back with the final minutes of this Monday right after this.
Thank you for listening to the Best of the Paul Finebaum Show podcast. Watch the Paul Finebaum Show weekdays from 3 to 7 Eastern on the SEC Network. Plus, you can listen and watch on the ESPN app.